And excuses are killing your dreams, plain and simple. I want you to sit with that for a second. Really let it sink in. Every time you tell yourself, I don't have time, I'm not ready, I'll start tomorrow, you are slowly, quietly, silently giving up on the life you could have. I see it all the time. People with talent, people with potential, people with ideas that could change their lives, yet they're trapped behind a wall of excuses. And the scary part, excuses feel safe. They feel comfortable. They feel like protection. But in reality, they're nothing more than handcuffs that keep you from stepping into your full power. Let me be real with you. Nobody is going to hand you your dreams. Nobody is going to walk into your life and make it happen for you. If you want success, if you want change, if you want to live a life worth remembering, you have to take ownership. You have to step up and do the work when no one is watching. Excuses are easy. Action is hard. But action is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. The moment you stop blaming your circumstances, the moment you stop waiting for the perfect time, the moment you stop letting fear run your decisions, that's the moment you start taking control of your life. Here's the truth about excuses. They are illusions. They're stories we tell ourselves to feel better about not moving forward. I don't have money really means I don't want to figure it out yet. I don't have time really means I haven't prioritized it. I'm too tired. I'm too tired really means I haven't committed to doing whatever it takes. And once you see through the illusion, once you can confront the truth, you realize you've been holding yourself back more than anyone else ever could. The harsh reality, life will not wait for you to feel ready. Opportunity will not pause until you have everything lined up perfectly. You either take the shot now or you stay stuck in the same place watching others pass by. I know it's scary. I know taking action feels risky. I know it's easier to make excuses and stay in your comfort zone. But let me tell you something. The life you dream about is on the other side of that fear. It's on the other side. It's on the other side of effort, sacrifice, and commitment. Excuses will never get you there. Excuses will never build your skills, your business, your confidence, or your legacy. Action will. Action transforms your ideas into reality. Action turns potential into results. Action earns respect. Action builds momentum. And momentum, that's what changes everything. You've got to start asking yourself the hard questions. What am I afraid of? Why am I waiting? What am I telling myself that isn't true? Because the answers are staring you in the face. They're in the mirror. They're in the choices you make every single day. Every day, you choose excuses. You choose stagnation. Every day, you choose action. You choose progress. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need approval. You don't need a sign from the universe. You need courage, consistency, and a willingness to do what most people won't. I want you to understand something. Action compounds. Every small step you take, every decision you make to move forward builds on itself. Today's effort becomes tomorrow's opportunity. It's a foundation, becomes the foundation for your future success. And here is the beautiful part. The more you act, the more capable you become. The more confident you feel, the more doors start to open. Excuses shrink in power the moment you step into action. they no longer control you. You no longer let fear dictate your decisions. You start creating the life you've always wanted, brick by brick, choice by choice, action by action. So stop waiting, stop rationalizing, stop hiding behind reasons why it's too hard or too late. Excuses are comfortable, but they're deadly to your dreams, the life you want, the legacy you deserve, the impact you can make. It all begins when you decide to act right now with whatever you have. Take the first step, no matter how small. Commit to showing up every day. Push past the fear. Break through the resistance, because action beats because unites excuses every single time, and that is how you change your life. Excuses delay your growth. Action creates your transformation, and that's a truth most people don't want to confront. Every time you come up with a reason why you can't start, why you can't try, why you can't move forward. You're not just standing still, you're moving backward. Growth doesn't pause just because you do. The world keeps spinning, opportunities keep shifting, and while you're talking yourself out of taking the next step, someone else is already doing the work you're avoiding. Excuses feel harmless, but they quietly steal your potential. Announce themselves. They don't announce themselves as danger. They whisper comfort. They offer relief, and they give you permission to stay small. That's how they trap you. Growth isn't comfortable. Growth demands honesty. It demands that you look at your habits, your fears, your patterns, and admit that the limitations you're blaming on the world often start within you. People say they want success, they want change, they want a new life, but wanting means nothing if you're not willing to take action. Excuses disguise themselves as valid reasons. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I don't know enough. I'm scared of failing. But every excuse speaks the same truth. You're choosing comfort over growth. When you understand this, you start to see your excuses for what they are: self-imposed barriers between who you are and who you could become. Action, on the other hand, is uncomfortable but powerful. Action requires effort, responsibility, and courage. It exposes you. It pushes you into unfamiliar territory. But that's exactly where transformation happens. When you take action, even a small action, you begin to break the cycle of stagnation. You create momentum, and you start proving to yourself that you're capable of more than your excuses allowed you to believe. Action builds confidence in a way nothing else can. The moment you decide to do instead of delay, everything shifts. Your mindset shifts. Your energy shifts. Your possibilities shift. Because action, no matter how small, moves you closer to the person you're meant to be. Transformation doesn't come from thinking about change. It doesn't come from wishing, planning, or daydreaming about a better life. It comes from doing. It comes from taking that imperfect, unsure, sometimes shaky step forward. People wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect moment. But perfection isn't coming. Perfection is just another excuse dressed up as preparation. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever. Transformation happens when you take action before you're ready, before you're confident, before you have everything figured out. That's how you grow, by pushing yourself into situations that require new strengths, new decisions, new skills. And here's something most people overlook: action teaches you faster and more effectively than anything else. You can read every book, watch every motivational video, gather all the advice in the world, but experience is the real teacher. When you act, you get feedback, you learn what works and what doesn't. You discover your resilience, your creativity, your capacity to adapt. You can't transform if you don't put yourself in positions that force you to evolve. Excuses keep you safe, but stagnant. Action puts you at risk, but moves you forward. If you look at people who've transformed their lives, entrepreneurs, athletes, creators, leaders, you'll find one common thread. They didn't remove their excuses because their lives were easy. They removed their excuses because their dreams were bigger than their fears. They understood that growth requires stepping into the unknown. They understood that action is the price of transformation. And the moment they made that decision, their lives began to change. You don't need a perfect plan to start. You don't need ideal conditions. You just need a willingness to stop lying to yourself about why you can't do it. Every time you choose action over excuses, you take back power. You reclaim control. You reshape your identity. You shift from someone who waits for change to someone who creates it. Growth is a choice you make daily, and transformation is the reward that follows those choices. Excuses only delay that journey, but action begins it. Dreams only become reality when responsibility replaces excuses, and that's a truth most people spend their entire lives avoiding. Everyone dreams. Everyone imagines a better version of themselves, a different future, a life filled with purpose, success, and fulfillment. But dreaming is easy. It costs nothing. Responsibility, on the other hand, costs everything. It demands effort, discipline, sacrifice, and honesty. It asks you to look at your life and admit that where you are right now is the result of your choices, your habits, and your decisions. And that admission is uncomfortable, which is why so many people hide behind excuses. Excuses protect the ego. They allow you to believe that circumstances, timing, or other people are the reason you haven't moved forward. But excuses don't build dreams. They kill them. Responsibility is the moment you stop blaming the world and start looking inward. It's when you say, if it's going to happen, it's up to me. That shift in mindset is where dreams begin to take shape. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting and start creating. You stop hoping and start building. You stop expecting and start working. Responsibility puts the power back in your hands. It allows you to reclaim control of your time, your energy, and your future. When you understand that your life is shaped by what you do, not what you intend, not what you hope, your dreams finally have a foundation to grow from. Excuses feel like protection, but they're really limitations. They shrink your world down to what feels safe and familiar. But dreams don't live in comfort zones. They live in effort, discipline, and risk, and choosing responsibility money over excuses means choosing to step into discomfort. It means taking action even when you're tired, learning even when you feel overwhelmed, pushing forward even when you're discouraged. It means doing the work no one sees, the work you don't always feel like doing, the work that transforms potential into reality. Responsibility is the difference between someone who talks about their dream and someone who builds it piece by piece. And here's the part most people overlook. Responsibility doesn't make your journey easier, but it makes your progress real. When you take responsibility, you stop expecting shortcuts. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop looking for someone to rescue you. Instead, you start focusing on what you can control: your habits, your discipline, your choices, and your effort. This is where real momentum comes from. It's not dramatic or glamorous. It's built from consistent, intentional action. Dreams grow through repetition, through showing up every single day, and through refusing to quit even when progress feels slow. Once you replace excuses with responsibility, you also replace doubt with belief, because every time you take accountability and act, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about doing something. It comes from doing it, from making progress you can feel, from becoming stronger than your old habits and louder than your excuses. Responsibility builds character. It builds resilience. It builds the mindset necessary to achieve anything meaningful. You were not designed to live a life controlled by excuses. You were built to create, but to grow, to rise higher than your circumstances. Your dreams are waiting for you, but they will not come to life until you take ownership of your journey, until you decide that you are responsible for your success, your effort, your growth, and your future. When you make that shift, when you choose responsibility over excuses, you stop dreaming of a better life and start stepping into it.